Have you ever felt the ache of being forgotten too soon? The silence after he leaves, the emptiness that follows when his attention shifts, like you never mattered at all. It's a feeling that sits in your chest like a storm, loud, restless, and full of questions. You wonder if he thinks about you, if he misses the way you loved him, the way you stayed even when he didn't deserve it. But here's the truth. The right kind of absence doesn't make you invisible, it makes you unforgettable. Because a man doesn't miss what's always chasing him, he misses what he knows he'll never find again. Marcus Aurelius once said, "He who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the universe." And that's the beginning of it all. When you shift your energy back into yourself, when you stop trying to hold on to someone who let go, that's when everything changes. That's when he starts to feel your absence like a fire he can't put out. It's not your words, your tears, or your messages that make him miss you. It's the silence. It's the space you leave behind that no one else can fill. Imagine a house filled with warmth. Your warmth, the scent of your skin, the echo of your laugh, the way your presence brought peace to the chaos of his life. But now, that house feels cold. He tries to light new fires, but nothing burns the same. He listens for the sound of you in someone else, but it never comes. Because you are not a woman who can be replaced. You are a once-in-a-lifetime presence, and he knows it. Slowly, the moments you shared will turn into memories he can't escape, and in those memories, he will miss you more than he ever expected. At first, it hurts. Yes, it does. But this is not the end of your story. This is the moment you rise, not to win him back, but to remember who you are. Because you were never meant to chase love. You were meant to be love. This is the time you stop living in the shadow of someone else's choice and step into the light of your own power. You're not just a woman who loved deeply. You are a woman who now chooses herself. And that choice? That's what makes him miss you like crazy. You are not broken. You are not forgotten. You are becoming. And the moment you begin to live as the queen you were always meant to be is the moment he realizes he let go of royalty. If this message touched your heart, if it reminded you of your strength, your worth, and everything you've always been deep down, then take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We are here, pouring our hearts into every word, working hard to bring you the truth, the healing, and the power you deserve. Because you're not alone in this journey, and together we rise. Number 1. Your silence becomes his loudest reminder. Have you ever noticed how quiet can hurt louder than any scream? Not because you said something wrong, but because you finally stopped saying anything at all. He was used to your voice, the check-ins, the long messages, the love you poured into every word. He thought your presence would never run out, but then it did. And now the silence you left behind speaks louder than anything you ever said. It follows him into the spaces you once filled. He hears it when he's alone. He feels it when he checks his phone and your name doesn't appear. He didn't expect that silence would be the thing to haunt him, but it is. He thought walking away meant control. He believed your silence would be temporary, that you'd come back like before, but he didn't understand the moment you choose peace over chaos, stillness over begging. That's the moment you become unforgettable. As Epictetus said, silence is safer than speech. And in relationships, silence becomes power when your presence is no longer taken for granted. Think of silence like a storm at sea. At first, everything looks calm until the wind shifts and the waves begin to rise. That's the silence he's now drowning in. He scrolls through memories like lifeboats, hoping to hold on to something. But there's nothing to grab, because the woman who once gave everything now gives nothing. And that absence? That's what makes him miss you like crazy. At first you may feel empty, like you lost something, but what you really did, you created space. Space for healing, space for growth, space for your crown to rise. Because silence isn't weakness, it's the sound of a woman finally hearing her own voice above all the noise. And the moment you stop chasing is the moment he starts noticing. You didn't disappear, you evolved. And now, beautiful woman, you don't need noise to be heard. You are the echo he can't escape. You are no longer the woman waiting to be chosen. You are the woman walking away with grace, power, and purpose. Write this in the comments and claim it. My silence speaks louder than his memory. Queens, write it proudly. This is your time. If this message touched your heart, if you felt your power rising through these words, like this video and subscribe to the channel. We're here to remind you of who you are, to bring you life-changing lessons that awaken your fire. Because Queens, your silence isn't empty, it's unstoppable. Number 2. Your glow without him burns his eyes. Have you ever noticed how the sun never chases what walks away from it, but somehow everything still turns back to feel its warmth again? That's the kind of power your glow holds. He thought you would break when he left. He thought your light would fade without him standing beside you. But what he never expected was that you would shine brighter the moment he walked away. And now, that glow, the one he took for granted, burns his eyes every time he looks back. He believed he could replace you. He thought moving on would erase you. But love doesn't work that way. Not real love, not real presence. You were not just a part of his life, you were the light in it. And now that you're gone, he's surrounded by shadows. He might smile with her, laugh with her, pretend he's okay, but every time he sees you rising, living, glowing without needing him, it hurts. It stings, because the woman he left behind didn't fall apart. She evolved into something he can't even touch anymore. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Dwell on the beauty of life, watch the stars, and see yourself running with them." And that's exactly what you're doing now, stepping back into your own beauty, your own worth. You're no longer standing in his shadow. You're becoming the light he can't escape, no matter how far he runs. Imagine a rose blooming in the middle of a storm, untouched, bold, radiant. That's you now. You were the softness he didn't know how to hold, and the fire he didn't know how to protect. But now that you're blooming without him, he finally sees it, and it burns. Because queens don't dim their light to be understood. They shine, even when it blinds the ones who once looked away. You are no longer the woman hoping he'll come back. You are the woman he watches from a distance, aching with the weight of his own mistake. So let your glow rise higher. Let it burn brighter. Let it blind him with regret. Write this in the comments and claim it. My glow without him is the fire he can't handle. Say it, queens. Let the world know your light didn't die when he left. It exploded. We are here for you, creating life-changing lessons, because queens, your time to rise is right now. Number 3, you loved him without conditions, and that love is unforgettable. Have you ever seen a man realize too late what he had? Not because you shouted, not because you begged, but because when he looks around, no one else makes him feel the way you did. You loved him without rules, without demands. You gave your heart not to control him, but to lift him. And now that kind of love haunts him because it cannot be duplicated. He'll search for it in another woman's voice, another woman's eyes, but it will never feel the same. Because you were the one who loved him freely, fully, and with a heart that asked for nothing but truth in return. A wise heart once said, "Unconditional love is not about holding on, it's about giving without fear." And that's exactly what you did. You gave him safety in your presence. You gave him peace in your silence. You gave him room to be imperfect, and still stood by him. He may have walked away thinking the world had more to offer, but what he didn't know then is that most love is borrowed. Yours was rare. Imagine a candle burning in a cold, dark room. You were that flame, steady, soft, unwavering. He felt warm because of you, but he never realized it was your light that made him feel alive. And now that it's gone, he feels the chill creeping in. He may not admit it, but he'll miss you when the nights grow quiet and no one else knows how to speak to the parts of him that only you ever understood. This kind of love, real, raw, unconditional, stays in a man's soul. It doesn't leave when you walk away. It lingers in the empty spaces, in the songs you used to sing, in the way his smile fades when he realizes she isn't you. And that beautiful woman is why he will miss you like crazy. But you are not the same woman he left. You have grown, you have risen, you have remembered who you are. You're not just the woman who loved deeply. You are the woman who now loves herself more, a woman who no longer waits to be chosen. You live as a queen now, not because someone gave you a crown, but because you finally chose to wear it. Queens, write this in the comments and claim your truth. My love was rare, and now it's gone. Let the world know your worth can't be replaced. We are working hard to bring you the lessons that heal, empower, and help you rise into the woman you were always meant to be. Number 4, you no longer sit where he left you. Have you ever seen a man look back and realize the place he left behind is no longer there? That the woman he once walked away from isn't sitting in the same pain, waiting in the same silence, hoping for the same message? That moment hits harder than anything else, because nothing makes him miss you like the moment he realizes you no longer sit where he left you. He thought you'd pause your life. He thought you'd wait, hurt but loyal, holding on to hope like it was your last breath. He believed that if things didn't work out with her, he could return, and you'd still be there, with the same open heart. But what he didn't expect was your growth, your glow-up, your rise. He turned around, and you were no longer there. The seat he left you in, empty. Not because you're lost, but because you moved. Seneca once said, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a woman perfected without trials." What he left behind was not a weak woman. He left behind a fire in progress. And now that fire is burning too brightly to be touched. Picture a flower that once bloomed in the shadow of his presence. It waited each day for the warmth of his attention, but once that warmth was gone, it didn't die. It turned toward the sun. It reached higher. It blossomed even stronger, not because of him, but in spite of him. And when he came back to look for it, it was already part of a garden he could no longer enter. That's what makes him miss you like crazy. Not your tears, not your longing, but your transformation. The fact that you no longer beg, no longer hope, no longer stay stuck in the same place. Because the woman he knew, she's gone. And in her place now stands someone who walks with grace, who reigns with quiet strength, who no longer waits to be chosen. You're not just moving on, you're rising. You're not just healing, you're becoming. You're no longer sitting in the hurt, you are walking into your power. Beautiful lady, he left thinking you'd freeze without him. Now he sees a force he can't reach, can't control, and can never replace. Write this in the comments and claim it. I no longer sit where he left me. Queens, write it boldly. Let it echo through every doubt, every scar, every moment of silence. And if this message reminded you of who you truly are, like this video and subscribe to the channel. We are here, working hard to bring you the truth, the healing, and the fire you deserve. Number 5. The way you saw him. Now that vision is gone. Have you ever seen the way a man stands a little taller when he feels truly seen? Not just noticed, but seen. When you looked at him, you didn't just see what he was. You saw what he could be. You believed in his dreams before he believed in them himself. You gave him strength without needing to say a word. But now, that gaze is gone. And the moment he realizes your eyes no longer hold the same light for him, the same hope, the same love, that's when the ache begins. That's when he starts to miss you like crazy. You didn't love him for what he gave you. You loved him for who he was becoming. You looked at his flaws and still saw the man underneath. That kind of love, that kind of vision, it doesn't come twice. And now that it's gone, he feels the difference in his bones. Because no one else looks at him like you did. No one else sees him through the same forgiving, loving, powerful lens that you once held steady, even when he didn't deserve it. Seneca once said, "He who is brave is free," and your greatest act of bravery wasn't loving him, it was choosing to stop. Choosing to walk away when your heart was still full, choosing to no longer carry the weight of someone who couldn't carry you in return. And now you are free. He is the one bound, tied to the memory of your eyes, your voice, your faith in him. He's searching for it in her smile, in her attention, in her touch. But nothing feels like you, because your kind of love wasn't built on the surface. It came from the soul. Think of a mirror he once saw himself in. You were that mirror. You showed him the man he wanted to be. Now that mirror is gone, broken, number just moved far beyond his reach. And in its place, he sees only himself, unfiltered, unchanged and empty. That's when it hits. Not just what he lost, but who he became without you. And now, beautiful woman, it's your time. You are no longer the woman waiting to be seen. You are the woman stepping into the light of her own reflection. You are becoming what you always were, a queen. Not because he called you one, but because you remembered. Write this in the comments and claim it. He lost the woman who saw the best in him. Queens, let the world know your vision is no longer his to hold. We are here, creating life-changing lessons for you, because your power deserves to be awakened, celebrated, and never forgotten. Number 6. Your energy was home. Now he's lost. Have you ever noticed how some places feel like home, not because of walls or furniture, but because of who's inside? That's exactly what your energy was to him, home. You were the soft place he ran to when life felt heavy, the calm in his chaos, the warmth in his cold. But now you're gone. And what's left behind is not just an empty space, it's a storm inside him. Because a man only realizes what he had when the comfort disappears. He didn't just lose a woman. He lost the feeling of being understood without speaking. He lost the safety of your heart. And now he's lost. Right now, he may act like nothing's wrong. He may laugh, keep moving, pretend you didn't matter. But deep down, he feels the difference. He feels it in the quiet moments when no one else is around to distract him. He reaches for something familiar, but it's not there anymore. Because your presence wasn't just love, it was a whole atmosphere. And now that you've taken that with you, he's walking through his world like a stranger in his own skin. There's a saying, the soul always knows when it's been in the presence of something real. And that's what you were, real. You didn't fake love. You didn't hold back. You gave him warmth that could have lasted a lifetime. But he thought it would always be there. He thought he could come and go, and your light would keep burning for him. But fires need tending, and now that he's left it unattended, it's gone cold. And that cold, that's the part he'll never get used to. Think of a lighthouse, steady, bright, guiding ships safely home. That was you. But when the ship chose another shore, the light turned away. And now, in the dark, he realizes he can't find his way back, because the energy that once felt like home is no longer his to return to. But this moment, this is not your end. This is your rise. You're not just the woman who loved him. You're the woman who learned to love herself more. The woman who once gave peace is now choosing power. And that, beautiful soul, is what he misses the most. Write this in the comments and claim it. I was his home. Now I am his loss. Say it loud, queens. Let the world know that your energy is no longer his to return to. We are here, creating every word with love and fire, working hard to bring you the truth, the healing, and the strength you deserve. Because, queens, this is not the end. It's the beginning of your reign. Number 7. You became the lesson he can't unlearn. Have you ever seen a man try to erase a memory that still lives in every corner of his soul? The way your laugh lingers in the back of his mind. The way your voice still feels like home, even in his silence. He may have walked away. He may have chosen someone else. But what he didn't expect was that losing you would become the one mistake he can't forget. Because you didn't just leave, you became the lesson he can't unlearn. He thought you'd stay soft forever. He thought you'd wait, keep checking your phone, hoping he'd come back. But the moment you stopped looking back was the moment his real punishment began. Now he carries the weight of your absence like a chain around his heart. He remembers the way you looked at him like he mattered. He remembers how you loved him without limits. And now, he sees what no one else gives him, because no one else is you. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." And that's where everything shifts. The moment you took back your power, the moment you stopped needing his attention and started feeding your soul, that's when the missing began. Not for you, but for him. Because what he lost was not just a woman. He lost the only version of love that ever made him feel seen. Think of a carved stone, polished by time and pressure. It's not flashy, it's not loud, but it's rare, priceless. That was you. And now, no matter how many places he searches, no matter how many hands he holds, your shape doesn't fit into anything else. You became a mark in his memory, the one name he doesn't say out loud, but thinks about when everything feels empty. At first, the pain nearly broke you, but look at you now, still standing, still rising, still glowing. You didn't lose him, he lost you, and now he's learning that some women don't get replaced. Some women become the lesson. And, queens, this is when you step into your reign. Because a woman who knows her worth becomes unforgettable. Not because of revenge, but because she never needed to stay. Write this in the comments and claim it. I am the lesson he will never unlearn. Say it with your whole heart, queens. Let the world hear your power. And if this message spoke to your soul, if it reminded you of your worth, like this video and subscribe to the channel. We are working hard every day to bring you real, life-changing lessons, because you were never meant to beg, you were meant to reign.